welcome to the platform, a new media forum that focuses on the next generation network marketplace. I'm Neal Axelrad, CEO of GCS, and I'll be your host as we explore the challenges that carriers face and some of the solutions that help them meet those challenges. Today, I'm joined by Ben Farzam, CEO of Callvox Communication. Welcome to the platform,
Thanks
buddy.
for having me.
So, you're a longtime customer and a good friend.
Long-time happy customer.
Long-time happy customer, which is great. And I know your story well, but maybe you could kind of give the studio audience here, studio audience of one, a little flavor of what's going on at Callvox.
Absolutely. So we're a wholesale carrier based here in New York City. We focus on emerging markets. We build, we buy, we manage voice capacity in a variety of emerging markets. We typically consolidate this capacity. We sell it on a dedicated basis to retail operators, calling card companies, tier one carriers, principally.
So tell us dive in a little bit more into that. What kind of platforms? How do you deliver it? Retail side, wholesale side?
Yeah, absolutely. So Callvox very much embraces a startup mentality. By all measures, we are a startup. We've gone into our third year. The principals are all second, third generation players from basically retail and wholesale operations, all in emerging markets. And so from a platform perspective, we have had kind of the unique perspective of really evolving from zero and trying a variety of solutions that are in the marketplace, and ultimately ending up with GCS. We recently did a migration, I guess a little under a year back, whereby we were looking for a solution that was going to help us address both the quality requirements as well as the monitoring requirements that a lot of our customers demanded, particularly kind of as we move higher up the food chain. And our experience has been pretty favorable to date with the GCS solution.
Appreciate that. The check will be delivered to your house.
Thank you. Make sure it has 6 digits in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So again, you touched on some solutions, right? This is the solutions corner. So when you approach a customer, let's call it an emerging markets customer. What are some of their issues? What are some of their carrier concerns, and how do you resolve them? How do you kind of differentiate yourself from other guys who are saying, I have a 8-cent route?
Yeah, no, that's a very fair question. I mean, increasingly we're in a commodities business, and as such, I think the benefits and the advantages are really afforded to the operators who, one, have a sound infrastructure, two, are operationally sound. And for us, I mean, our strategy is typically to go very deep in country, partner with 2 or 3 operators on the termination side, and really build out capacity on behalf of a lot of our larger, retail-oriented customers. And so, in that vein, what we are actively looking to do is to have the infrastructure required to, one, maintain a certain quality of service that the customer demands, right? So that can be anything from typically that's a combination of both automated monitoring as well as human eyeballs on the network. And from an operational perspective, our ability to kind of merge those two and really maximize what we ultimately deliver from a quality perspective to our customers. That really, if there's any secret sauce to our strategy, that ultimately becomes, exactly that sauce.
Absolutely. So that's kind of your key differentiator. So what do you think is on the horizon for you guys? I know you're a grand vision guy. Yeah. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but hey, you're on the spot right here. What's the vision for you guys? Where would you like? Let's just kind of sky's the limit kind of a thing. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? I'm never going to say 5 because who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, absolutely. So great question. I mean, I feel that a lot of the trends that we're seeing that we're looking to capitalize on, and again, we're very much of a niche player, so we're not looking to be all things to all people. The wholesale market typically it's a pretty fragmented space. But at the same time, you're seeing a fair amount of consolidation as well, and I think that creates tremendous opportunities. So, from our perspective, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. Go very deep in country, really focus. Not look to be all things to all people. We have probably 5 primary markets and another 7 to 10 secondary markets. And from my perspective, if we can continue building out, let's say, 1 or 2 destinations per quarter, and really just build out significant capacity and continue to, service the operators that are originating that traffic, we do that another 5 to 10 times in the next 3 years, and we'll be good to go.
Good job. Good job. So we're living in I guess we'll call it tough economic times, right? And so we're a startup that kind of sat right in the middle of those tough economic times. Obviously, you guys are thriving. What have some of the challenges been for you guys? How have you overcome those? Give me the Ben success story, if you would, as the guy who's at the helm of Callvox.
There's nothing tremendously proprietary. I mean, I would say that focus has been a very, very big component of our success. A lot of people in our industry complain about there being shrinking margins and being less and less opportunities. I feel quite the contrary. There are a tremendous number of opportunities. There are no shortage of customers. There are no shortage of vendors. In my experience, one of the biggest risks in this business is simply having your eyes be too big, and really focusing on kind of your core competencies. And it sounds a bit like a cliche, but truthfully, from the perspective of an upstart, maturing into a mid-level company, our experience has been that if we just kind of build it brick by brick and we continue to focus on the fundamentals, we ultimately get to where we need to get to.
So do 5 things well 100 times rather than 100 things well,
absolutely.
100 things 5 times.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean that's a very basic rule of thumb that I think oftentimes is lost, particularly on the wholesale side of things.
Well, I appreciate you coming. I in particular have watched your company grow. I'm very excited to be a small part of that, and we're going to have these regularly. I'd love to have you come down regularly and do a deep dive on a particular segment of your organization. So we've been speaking with Ben Farzam, CEO of Callvox Communications. Thanks a lot for coming. We appreciate it.